Hello, everyone. On April 14, 2014, 276 girls were taken away from their school. 57 of them escaped immediately, and there were 219 of them that were in captivity. They were in captivity for a long time. Some of them, 10 years after, they are still in captivity. In May 2016, the first girl was found, Amina Ali in Keki. In all of this, there were citizens of Nigeria who decided that they were not enough was enough, and they were no longer going to be silent while atrocities were happening in their countries. And seeing what had happened in February 2014, when 29 boys were slaughtered in their school by Boko Haram, and government did nothing. And in April, when 276 girls were taken away from their school, on April 30th, 2014, citizens decided to come out on the streets of Nigeria, and they started chanting, "Bring back our girls." For years, it's been 10 years. This year we make it 11 years. April 30th, 2025, we make it 11 years that citizens went out on the streets to make demands. But guess what? These citizens have been demonized, insulted, abused, called all sorts of names because they simply went out. They had empathy, they had humanity, and they demanded for the rescue of children whom Nigerian government and also a lot of Nigerians wanted to be forgotten just because they are poor. And I always say to everyone, whenever you get that phone call that says your loved one, or even if it's you yourself that have been kidnapped, remember Chibok girls. And that maybe, just maybe, if all of us as Nigerians had come together and left our stupid political divides and just focus on demanding for the rescue of the girls, then the Nigerian government would not have abdicated its responsibility in ensuring that they are back. And then Nigerian life, your life, my life would have mattered today. But hey, that was not the case. I am one of the members of the Bring Back Our Girls movement. And the abduction happened 4 months after my 40th birthday, where I had decided that I would no longer be silent and I will speak up on the issues of Nigeria. And so I've also received a lot of insults, attacks. There were people who literally said they were going to kill us. Life, deadly threats, just because we made demands. And one of the things that people have not been able to understand over the years, and they keep talking about, is the issue of funding. A lot of people are used to people being funded to do things, and they cannot realize that there are people who the only price that they gave was their empathy, their physical health, well-being, emotional well-being, psychological well-being, courage, you understand, to stand on the street and demand for these girls, even when their lives were threatened, even when they were beaten by thugs that had been brought in by government. I see a lot of people, when they are referring to NSAS, they talk about how the government brought in thugs and think that that is the first time. No, we at the Bring Back Our Girls movement at Unity Fountain were beaten by thugs that were sent in by Jonathan's government. But we refused to move on. The police banned us several times. They used guns, they used tear gas on us, but we refused to leave. We said the fight for the Chibok girls is a fight for the soul of Nigeria. But over the time, we've had people who, in their heinous manner, every year, they come out to castigate us, to abuse us, to accuse us, to say that, oh, we're the ones that toppled government. If the demands for the return of Chibok girls, for the rescue of Chibok girls, for them to be brought back is seen as toppling of government, I'm proud, absolutely proud, and I will do it again and again and again. For some of you who said that at that time, because you could pay airfare from Lagos to Abuja for 10,000 naira, then the lives of people don't matter. Well, for the people whom their loved ones were killed, and even those who were killed, their lives matter. And there are some of us who say, indeed, the Nigerian life matter. And for those who come out every year to make this false allegation right from Jonathan's administration, the Jonathan government started this allegation. First of all, they said that the abduction did not happen, which is a crime for me, a heinous crime that is an unforgivable crime that the Jonathan administration did. Was to say that the Chibok girls' abduction was a lie. When children whom parents had sent to school were missing, and today, 10 years after, parents are still grieving. Some of them have died without having seen their daughters being brought back. And then, of course, they came out to say that we're psychological terrorists. They called us terrorists, they called us cells, they called us all sorts of names. And then they accused us that we were being funded. Funded by what? Our empathy, our humanity. Yes, we were funded by our empathy and our humanity. The Bring Back Our Girls movement refused to collect any form of money from anyone. They refused any donation. We're not a civil society organization. We're simply a movement. Concerned citizens who had come out and said, no, how can we be in a country and girls will be taken away from school and we will all be silent? And that's it. What were our needs? We come out every day, they tear gas us, we go, we come out again. We buy water amongst ourselves. And so let me repeat it again. We've said it a lot of times, that the Bring Back Our Girls movement was and is self-funded, has never received dime from anyone. It is with the members that we always contribute money for whatever it is that we needed, for whatever it is to be done. And the Bring Back Our Girls movement, another lie that a lot of people tell, oh, as soon as Jonathan won election, that they left. No, we didn't leave. It was you. Your empathy that left you, your humanity that left you, and up till now, it has not come back to you. The time that we stopped the physical protest was in 2020, when COVID-19 happened and there was lockdown. That was when we stopped. So from 2014 to 2020, every day we came out to Unity Foundation, except on those days where there were elections and there were no movements. So we have been consistent, and up till now, we're still making demands. A recent accusation came out where people were saying that the Bring Back Our Girls movement was funded by USAID, especially by David Hunde, who calls himself an investigative journalist, who had no empathy because he had a good life. At the time, in 2014, he was enjoying himself. He didn't care about other people. It is now that he's suffering that he knows that the government can be held accountable. Well, what he doesn't realize that the same way he didn't have empathy or humanity in 2014 against his fellow citizens who were going through so much, some of them were being killed, is the same way others don't have empathy or humanity against him. And for people like David Hunde, what they have done again and again and again is to at every moment, to look for ways to say that, oh, they collected money and he has been making this accusation. Can you bring your facts out there? And so the Bring Back Our Girls movement has come out with a statement, and this is the statement. I'm going to get this statement and read this statement right now. For those who seem as if I don't know what world they are in, this is the Bring Back Our Girls statement. Bring Back Our Girls movement was never funded by USAID. Our attention has been drawn to outrageous allegations on social media that the Bring Back Our Girls movement, BBOG, was one of the organizations around the world funded by United States Agency for International Development, USAID. We state categorically that these malicious allegations are outright lies, baseless, and a serious violation of the principle of sacredness of facts. We urge anyone with a shred of evidence whatsoever to validate these claims against BBOG to immediately publish them. BBOG has operated as a citizens' advocacy over the last 11 years of existence with the highest standards of sacrifice, empathy, openness, integrity, transparency, probity, resilience, and discipline driven by our shared humanity. The movement is therefore similarly interested in promoting any issues of public accountability. To re-emphasize, no form of relation, including any related to funding, ever existed or exists between BBOG and USAID. We therefore urge reasonable people everywhere in the world to disregard, ignore, and indeed denounce this form of unfounded attacks against our humanity-anchored citizens' advocacy that champions the culture of citizens holding their government and public leaders accountable. As campaigners, BBOG had from the outset publicly declared and respected our singularity of purpose through our chant, Bring Back Our Girls now and alive. It was for this singular purpose that BBOG campaigners gathered daily for protests from April 30th, 2014 in the Unity Fountain, Abuja, every day for 2,163 days to advocate for the cause of our Chibok girls for a period that spanned the administrations of Presidents Goodluck, Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. It is instructive that the BBOG daily protest at the Unity Fountain held until 29th March 2020, when the government announced a national lockdown that commenced on March 30th, 2020. We campaigned as responsible citizens, holding two respective administrations accountable for the rescue of Chibok girls and all other abducted citizens of Nigeria with our daily protests. As a reminder, we wish to outline noteworthy facts about the BBOG campaign and the campaigners. 1. BBOG campaigners for the rescue of Chibok girls from the terrorists had, from the outset, resolved and strictly operated a self-funded policy. 2. BBOG, therefore, at no time ever sought nor accepted any form of donation outside of the movement for activities in 11 years of existence. 3. BBOG's decision to be self-funded was collectively made by our campaigners. 4. BBOG never acted for, nor with USAID in our campaign for the rescue of Chibok girls from terrorists, which is, I was, as a member, a sit-out coordinator, I was the leader of the BBOG for a period of time. I think that was from 2015 to, was it 2018 or 2019? I can't remember exactly now. We didn't even have any meeting with USAID. There was nothing that even connect. It's crazy. 5. BBOG never received any form of donation from USAID, nor any other donors whatsoever, because our campaigners had from the outset resolved against any form of raising funds outside of the campaigners who gathered daily at the Unity Fountain. BBOG is a citizens' advocacy open to anyone who walks into the Unity Fountain or signs up online to participate in the demand for rescue action by the government of Nigeria for Chibok girls. And we always say it was a free entry, free exit movement. BBOG 7. BBOG is therefore not a membership organization requiring any form of registration. BBOG is not an NGO and was never registered as one. We are not registered. It's not registered. It's not an NGO. It doesn't have bank accounts. We don't have bank accounts. We don't have a corporate name. It's just that it's a movement. BBOG, bring back our girls. 9. BBOG therefore has no legal, no formal personality, no bank accounts, no personnel that work for it. 10. BBOG restricts its advocacy activities to minimal costs that members can easily and voluntarily contribute to cover collectively. Contributions were usually spent on water, BBOG red t-shirts required on days of marches, and occasional media coverage of special advocacy events which required highly discounted payments. And in a way, let me even explain further. Those t-shirts, as we went on, the members, people got tired, people moved on. The numbers that will come out every day, which is enough because the people were mentally fatigued, physically fatigued. And what we now did, instead of even saying we will wear the BBOG t-shirt, we just say wear red t-shirt. As long as it's red, we move so that we don't have to be raising money amongst ourselves to buy this t-shirt. And then some people had t-shirts that they use, constantly all the time. 11. In summary, the BBOG at the start, all the years of our daily protests and now is strictly self-funded through the voluntary contribution of campaigners who turn up for the daily sit-outs at the Unity Fountain. As a well-conducted citizens movement, we await any contrary evidence that anyone can provide. Thank you. And it was signed by Jeff Okoroafo. Bring back our guest spokesperson. People who cannot stand for anything, who have to be paid to stand for something, cannot understand that citizens gave years of their lives making demand for other people. But let me personally tell you one thing that I tell people. I think of those Chibok girls are like could have been my child, and I would rather come out every day demanding while it's another person's child than for me to have to wait until my own is carried before I come out and demand. Yesterday's victims were once survivors. Today's victims were yesterday's survivors. And tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. I leave you with the question, who is next?